Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. And I really like it when companies decide to really innovate, try out new technologies, test out something new. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it does, and it does catch on. Now we'll see if that's the case with the LG G8 ThinQ, which I'm unboxing right now. Real quick, I want to show you what comes in the box. Also give some first impressions, but now there is something called Hand ID, which is actually vein recognition in your hand to unlock your phone. It has a fingerprint scanner as well if you'd like to use that. And also some motion controls, air motion controls without touching the actual phone. So really want to test those out. So we'll go ahead and open up the box real quick, and then let's go ahead and get into the phone. The LG G8 ThinQ unboxing. Let's get started. Here is the G8 ThinQ from LG, and to be honest, I'm not too keen on the name. You could just kind of cover up that part and call it the G8, but that is the naming scheme LG goes with. Not for sale because, of course, this is a review unit that LG did send me. Now, opening it on up, looks like you have a microfiber cloth, great for just cleaning your phone or other things, displays. Also, it can wait. Distracted driving is never okay. Please, guys, do not use your phone and drive. Glad they actually include that. That's a good PSA. Now, set the phone to the side for just a second. We're gonna check at what else comes in the box. Looks like we do have our AC adapter, which is of course fast charge, along with our USB Type A to USB Type C cable for charging. Other than that, in here, looks like we do get some booklets, some getting started guide, a SIM ejection tool, and of course warranty information. So it does not have any headphones at all. I kind of wish LG would have included some headphones in the box like other flagship phone manufacturers. Let's move on to what you all came here to see, and that is the phone. Looks like there is some packaging on there which we can take off, and a couple stickers. Now that we've gotten that taken care of, one thing I noticed right away when looking at the back of the phone is how flat it actually is. Look at that, no camera bump whatsoever. There is a bit of an indent for that rear fingerprint scanner, but other than that, really flat, gives it a really sleek look to it. Now flipping it over, I want to turn it on. This does have flagship spec Snapdragon 855, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, which you can expand. Also, side note, it does have a headphone jack. As it boots up, taking a closer look, there's that headphone jack, USB-C slot microphone, and one of the speakers. LG has always been known for the great audio quality they have on their speakers and their headphone DAC. Now, on the right side, you do have a power button, of course, which does look a little bit small. I don't think that'll be that big of a deal. Up towards the top, just a microphone. Then on the left side is where you do have your volume rockers, along with a dedicated Google Assistant button, which they have consistently included. And a close look at the back that I was talking about. Dual camera system, just a standard wide angle lens and an ultra wide angle lens, which I actually would prefer to have over a telephoto lens if I'm realistic. Fingerprint scanner on the back, G8 ThinQ and LG branding. Now it is booted up. Flipping it over, here's a look at the front with those bezels left and right. And then of course up at the top there is a notch. They have added some extra sensors, infrared, along with the TOF lens for depth sensing, and of course the front-facing camera. As usual, I'm going to quickly skip through the setup process, only talk about anything noteworthy. Looks like what they're calling a new second screen, which really isn't new at this point because they called it that in previous generations, but you will see you can actually have that notch on or off via software depending on if you like it. To begin, you can set up your face unlock, fingerprint, not code pattern pin, or no thanks. I'm gonna set up the fingerprint for now, so let's go ahead and add that. You have to add a second set of security, not code pattern pin. As usual, set your finger on that fingerprint scanner and go ahead and lift it off. Just back and forth, same thing over and over. I do like the placement of it. It's actually very comfortable for my hand. Can really find it easily with the indent that it actually has in the back of the phone. Very quick. I can add more if I'd like to. I'm not going to for now. All done with the setup process. We are on our home screen with a 6.1-inch 1440p OLED display. Now right away, as always in my unboxings, real quick, I want to go into general. It should be storage. See how much storage out of the box we have. 18% used, so 23.5 gigs is used. Now this is the AT&T variant, so it is definitely going to vary depending on the specific model that you pick up. As usual, let's go ahead and test out that fingerprint scanner. So I'm gonna set my finger on it. Unlocks it right away. Go ahead and do that again. Now let's go to the lock screen. And I don't know why it's not letting me go to that lock screen. My finger's definitely not on the, I'll press it to unlock, and it just unlocks it. That's a little strange. All right, so I figured out the culprit. I've actually never seen this out of the box, but something to really make note of is go to secure lock settings, and you will see lock timer 15 seconds after screen timeout. I've actually never seen it set to that by default. So if you do want to have it immediately, now it should be going to the lock screen, which it does. So I did have to wait 15 seconds. Weird setting to have out of the box. Definitely noteworthy though. So now let's go ahead and test out that fingerprint scanner. Set our finger on, seems to unlock it right away. Let's go ahead and do it again. And seems to be just fine, snappy, quick, and accurate. I want to show off one more thing. I do really like animations overall, and this one looks really cool from the lock screen. See how it animates, and then when you unlock it with your finger, see how it kind of just goes through the plants there. Really nice little touch. I know it might take a little bit longer to get to your actual home screen with those animations, but it makes it look more polished. I would like to jump into that camera very quickly so you can see it front and rear cameras. You can just change by swiping. Camera modes as well. Now it does have an AI cam mode which you can switch to, which will change scenes, manual camera, and a bunch more that you can choose from. Now I do want to go back into the camera and just snap a couple quick pictures right here. Shutter speed feels quick. I do really like the vibration motor on this phone. It actually does a little subtle vibration when you take a picture. That's something LG actually does a really good job with. Now let's go ahead and set up that hand ID. Now overall, jumping back into settings, I'm actually gonna switch it to list view, just something that I personally prefer over the tabbed look. Go back into security, now hand ID. Let's go ahead and unlock our phone with our hand. All right, so it says position your hand 6 to 8 inches away. Your palm should be facing the front camera. So let's go ahead and hit start. Position our palm right there and slowly lower it until the yellow circle. Wait until the concentric circle disappears. You might not be able to see it. There really wasn't much to see, just a circle going in, and you've successfully scanned your hand. For best results, scan your hand again in a different way, having the phone in your hand, having the phone on a table or a holder. So let's go ahead and continue that. I'm gonna do it one more time, setting it down on the table, of course. And once it recognizes my palm, it says bring your hand closer. There we go, it's recognizing it. And you can now unlock your phone with hand ID. Now let's actually test it out without doing anything. I'm gonna go ahead and press lock. I don't think it's actually gonna work if I do it without the lock screen on. Looks like it's not working, so if we go ahead and do that, we will go ahead and use our palm. No, I did not put any finger on the fingerprint scanner. Watch that again. On the lock screen, just boom, actually works. That is crazy. Scanning the veins in my hand to unlock the phone. You know, like even if you don't think that's going to be useful in any way, you gotta admit that's pretty cool. Curious to know if you guys would rather have an in-display fingerprint scanner or the rear camera coupled with the palm to unlock. So drop a comment and let me know. Actually curious to see what you guys have to say. Now let's jump back into settings and go to extensions where air motion is going to be. Now with air motion, there's a group of things you can do. So shortcuts and capture. So you see swipe left, you can have it open up any specific app that you'd like to, well, actually a list of apps, or swipe right, there's a list of apps that you can choose from. You see a pretty extensive list. Now let's go back again, control music and videos. So if you're playing a music, use your hand to control when playing music. You can turn that on as well. Now let's go ahead and go back again and control calls and alarm. Left and right to answer calls, stop alarms. So maybe you want to actually snooze your alarm. You can go ahead and do so with just your palm. Call, alarm, timer, we can turn all those on. I actually would like to do tests with all of them, but let's go ahead and try the shortcut. All right, so let's go ahead and test it out. It says to put your hand about 3 to 5 inches away from that camera. You'll see a little colored notch show up below the notch, and then pull your hand away and turn it into a claw, and then it will bring up left and right motion to open an app, or you can go ahead and pinch in, and it just took a screenshot. Pretty cool how that worked. A little weird at this angle for me, but let's go ahead and try it out once more. If I go ahead and put my palm over it, pull it back, make a claw, and like I said, it's pretty finicky with this angle right here. It's not really recognizing it, but you'll see it did work. Seems like there's going to be a bit of a learning curve for me, but interesting and going to be fun to try out and see if it's actually something that I will use daily. But overall, that's it for the LG G8 ThinQ for now. More videos coming very soon, so be sure to click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it down below. Be sure to follow the social media accounts. All links will be in the description. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.